I have the most toxic mother-in-law in the history. Guys, listen to this. She's jealous that I took her baby boy from her, and now she's trying to move into our house just because she wants more time with her son. Well, get this. We just got married last week, and if she thinks she's going to move into our house a week after we got married, she is losing her mind. But for some reason, her little baby boy is starting to agree with her.
Hey guys, it's Emily. I'm getting married to the love of my life, Matthew, in less than 2 weeks of time, and his mother, Lucy, is doing everything in her ability to throw a wrench in our plans. Matthew and I shared some classes in college, and that's how we met. We were teamed up for a project, and either I would go over to his apartment or he would come over to mine to work. We knocked the project out at the park, and to celebrate, had gone out for a few drinks. He mustered up the courage and asked me out by the end of the night, and honestly, if he had not asked me out that night, I was planning on doing it myself next time I saw him. And that's how we began our 6 years of dating. Matthew is very full of life, while I'm very calm, happy-go-lucky person. I liked Matthew because of his risk-taking personality. He's also kind of a hothead, and he needs me to calm down, and I'm good at de-escalating situations. I think we fit pretty well together. However, not everyone thinks the same way as us. I introduced him to my family who loved him, and he introduced me to his family. That wasn't a big fan of me. His mother especially disliked me, but in the beginning tried to hide it as a joke. The first thing she said to me was that she was there to inspect the woman my son had replaced me with.
Exactly her words.
Well, then she laughed and claimed it was a joke. Well, that had truly creeped me and Matthew out, and after that she wasn't very nice to me all through our meal, hiding her impolite behavior by saying that she was just joking. She claimed that I should get used to her brand of humor if I ever wanted to join the family in the future. There was so many such jokes thrown my way all throughout the meal. I was honestly exhausted by the end of it because of her. Matthew apologized profusely on our way back, saying that he did not know why his mother was acting so possessively in front of me. Matthew had never had a long-term partner before me, and we had been dating for 3 years, so it was serious. I think Lucy was just scared that Matthew would actually marry me in the future, and that's why this nasty side of his personality was coming out during the dinner for Matthew to see. And after that, all my encounters with Lucy were like this. She always made creepy jokes that usually left both Matthew and me uncomfortable. She would often say that I wasn't feeding her son well and call him skinny. She would claim that Matthew was never skinny under her roof because she cared for him. Every time Matthew would have any problem, she would find a way of blaming it on me. Matthew got a tan. Emily didn't tell him to put on sunscreen. Matthew had a cold. Emily must have sent him out in the cold for an errand. Matthew twisted his feet at work. Emily bought him the wrong pair of shoes. This woman was absolutely crazy, and I quite frankly think that Lucy is in love with her own son. Lucy honestly makes me very, very angry. And I'm not a confrontational person. I don't get angry easily. I'm usually the calm one in every situation, but somehow Lucy brings out the angry part in me. She annoys me beyond my wildest imagination. Matthew usually has to calm me down, when it's usually the other way around in every situation. Lucy honestly brings out the worst in me. Matthew also doesn't like it when his mother grows possessive of him when it comes to me. But it's his mother, so he has an obligation towards her. Lucy is nothing like this to her son-in-law. She treats him with a lot of respect and love. I don't understand what she doesn't think that he stole her eldest daughter, but she doesn't. And even after all this, I try my best to be respectful and as non-confrontational as possible for Matthew. And we only meet her on family occasions, So we always try our best to live with her inappropriate behavior without causing so much trouble ourselves. However, she grew even worse when she found out that Matthew had proposed to me. We had decided to have a small engagement party with a few of our friends and family, and Lucy tried her hardest to ruin it for me. She claimed that I wasn't very pretty, not as pretty as her anyways, and then she pointed out that she wasn't even wearing any makeup and laughed. But nobody else found it funny like she did. Everybody just found her behavior, to be creepy. Lucy gives off major pick-me vibes. All through my engagement to Matthew, she treated me with contempt. It was clear that she had not expected Matthew to marry me. And she tried her best to cause issues between us. I once heard her discussing that I and Matthew won't have pretty babies if Matthew married me. She claimed that Matthew was a cute baby because she's beautiful. Matthew had been nice enough to ask her mother to keep her opinions to herself if they were going to be this rude, and not to say them out loud. And mostly she just pretends like I don't even exist. Let alone play a vital role in our son's life, she doesn't even look at me when we meet up. And even if I initiated a conversation with her, she would often call Matthew and tell him to get rid of me because his fiancé was annoying her. We've been planning for this wedding for months now. Lucy has tried to interfere and influence Matthew to have a wedding with her vision, but Matthew hasn't fallen for her tactics. He lets her pout when he refuses her suggestions, but she comes back to her baby anyways. A lot's gone on into the planning. We've used a lot of our savings and we're very happy with what the outcome will be. And 2 weeks before the wedding, Lucy has decided that she isn't getting enough attention from her son and has decided to throw an absolute tantrum. She called and told Matthew a few days ago that she won't be able to come to the wedding. She didn't explain any further, even though Matthew tried to ask her about it. So Matthew decided to drive an hour to her home and talk to her in person. She told him that she doesn't feel welcome at the wedding or in our lives because we took none of her suggestions into account. Matthew spent hours reassuring her that her suggestions are very valuable to us. We just had a different vision than her. At the end, he just promised her that he would do anything to prove that she's welcome at our wedding and in our lives before leaving. Who's going to bet that she's going to misuse the promise? I will. I don't understand why he would promise something like that to his mother, who clearly doesn't even like me. He's tried to assure me, saying that he would take care of whatever she does. But I know for sure there's no way Lucy would have missed her son's wedding. After all, it would have been a perfect opportunity to criticize me in front of people. But I understand that he felt like he could not take his chance. But can you believe Lucy? She feels unwelcomed. It should be me who feels that way after the way she treated me. Always making me feel like an outsider. I can't believe that she thinks it's a good time to throw a tantrum like this. I guess I'm just writing this because I'm exhausted by Lucy and her childish behavior. I don't know why she thinks winning Matthew's affection is a competition. Come on. Anyways, I don't know why she's so insecure. It's not like Matthew and Lucy live together and I'm taking their precious time together or something. I'm just annoyed by her, and I can assure you that she will cause even more trouble for us. Whatever Matthew may think, Lucy is the type of woman who thrives on causing other people stress, especially me. Update number 1. Hey everyone, it's Emily here. About a few days ago, I told you that my future mother-in-law threw a tantrum and said that she would not come to the wedding, so her son would give her more attention. She felt like she wasn't welcome at the wedding or in our lives anymore. So my fiancé reassured her and promised that he would do anything to prove that she was welcome at the wedding and in our lives. And now we're regretting his promise. Lucy decided to show up at our house today, 2 days before the wedding day. When I opened up the door, I was shocked to see her with a suitcase by her side. But she just completely ignored me, like she's been doing ever since I got engaged to her son, and walked past me, leaving her suitcase behind the door. I rolled my eyes and closed the door without wheeling the suitcase inside the house, and if she could wheel it around to our house, there's no reason why she can't bring it inside, or I'm not her personal maid. She made a huge show off, being happy to see her son. Matthew looked happy to see her too, probably thinking that she was in a better mood before then. But when she claimed that she was there for a few weeks, we both fell silent. She said that Matthew had claimed that he wanted to make her feel welcome in the wedding and our lives, so she just came over a few weeks so that we could prove that to her. Both Matthew and I were absolutely speechless. The announcement, he wordlessly just brought her suitcase inside. I decided not to say anything and let Matthew deal with it. But I made it crystal clear to Matthew that I did not want his mother in our house after what we, just got married, and especially not while we were at our honeymoon stage. I know for a fact that she will not respect our house and privacy. And anyways, who does she want to spend weeks in her house? Why, after we got married? That's such an inappropriate demand for her to make. So he brought up these concerns with her. But Lucy just said that we can leave the house keys with her and go on our honeymoon. But neither of us was comfortable with this, and we flat out told her that we didn't like that. She just claimed that she had packed a bag for almost a month. Matthew promised to help her unpack, and that's when she started to tear up, saying that we had promised that he would prove that she was welcome in our lives. We both know that it was emotional blackmail, and Matthew did not let her get away with it. He claimed that it was highly inappropriate of her to ask such a demand from us. We felt uncomfortable to host her after just getting married. Well, and that she would be leaving on the day of our wedding if she wanted to or not. That's made Lucy angry, and both of them haven't talked to each other for hours. I'm glad that Matthew took a stand against his mom, but I can just see Lucy creating a huge scene at our wedding because her son for once spoke up against her. Anyways, I'll tell you guys exactly what happens. Update number 2. Hey everyone, it's Emily again. It's just been a day since my last update. I told you that my future mother-in-law just waltzed into our house expecting that we will host her for weeks after we get married. But my fiancé had refused to meet her demand, and they have been at an impasse ever since. Until today, when she created a scene at our rehearsal dinner. I've been sick for the past few days, and I was really not in the mood for Lucy's drama, but you can't decide when Lucy wants to throw a tantrum. I knew the moment we drove to the venue that she was in the mood for a fight. Matthew reassured me that she won't make a public scene, but clearly he doesn't know his mother like I do. I was talking to my bridesmaid when I heard Lucy yelling at her ex-husband Mark. She was exclaiming that her son would not take her in for a few weeks because I was clearly poisoning his mind against her. I just rolled my eyes and tried to focus back on my conversation, but everybody had stopped talking and was looking at Lucy and her dramatics. Mark tried to calm her down, speaking quietly that I could not overhear, but it was crystal clear, not giving Lucy any comfort, and she continued to scream her frustrations for the world to hear. She was claiming that I was a snake who was making her look bad in front of her own son. Never once in his life had Matthew ever broken a promise to her, and then came along little old me. When I say Matthew walked towards his mother, I decided to accompany him as well. Matthew told his mother to tone it down, she was attracting unwanted attention, but Lucy claimed that she didn't care who heard, that I was a bad person and had a personal vendetta against her. I don't think that's what people heard. I think people heard the kind of mother-in-law Lucy would be to me and the kind of mother she is to Matthew. I don't think her tantrum made people empathize with her, but to us... Matthew tried to calm her down, and she asked if we could keep his promise and let her stay with us for a few weeks or not. Matthew had had enough, and he told her no. He asked her why she would possibly want to be in a house with newlyweds. That's so inappropriate for her to even consider. Instead of answering, Lucy began to cry crocodile tears, claiming that he was breaking the promise. Matthew then told his father to deal with his mother because he no longer can. But that only made Lucy angrier, who began wailing that he's never been so disrespectful before I came into his life. Clearly, I was nothing more than a bad influence on him. But Mark was already escorting her out of the venue. Guys, can you believe this? I'm so tired of this woman. I'm just glad that I can enjoy the rest of the party Lucy-free. Sure, I felt sick to my stomach, so I didn't eat much, but the company was great after Lucy was made to leave. Update number 3. Hey guys, yesterday was my wedding to Matthew, and I thought I should update. It was supposed to be a very happy day for us, and for the most part it was. But there was just a lot going on, and I might have done something to Lucy by mistake. But she fully deserved it. I was full of nerves when I woke up yesterday and puked the first thing in the morning. I felt nauseated. I couldn't even eat before going to the wedding venue. Everybody was concerned about my health, so much so that Matthew even offered to come take me to a doctor. But I didn't want to ruin the day that we had planned. A cousin of mine is a doctor, and she prescribed me some medicine that I took. And then my mother force-fed me some food. All in all, we had it under control. But my wonderful future mother-in-law told me that I shouldn't feel nervous, and that if I was clearly not sure about this union, and maybe I should run away with cold feet. I was horrified that a mother would want the girl her son was about to marry to run away. She truly hates me and doesn't want me to marry her son and just steal him, apparently. I'd started to feel better by the time of the ceremony. Thank goodness, because I wanted to be fully present while getting married. And I was. The moment I saw Matthew standing there, I felt my nerves melt away. I completely forgot that I've been feeling sick since I woke up. Matthew is my soulmate, and there was no power in the universe that could have stopped me from marrying him that day. The real problem, it began later. The ceremony went really well, and we took amazing pictures. Even the first dance went splendidly. However, while we were sitting down for dinner and toast, Lucy decided that it was the perfect moment to discuss her future living arrangements with us, even though we had forced her to pack her bags while leaving the house this morning. The moment I smelled the fish food, the nausea returned tenfold, and even worse. Lucy was crowding me on my side while talking to Matthew. I tried to excuse myself, but she thought that I was trying to escape the conversation and decided to stand in my personal space and talk. Honestly, I don't even know what she was saying at the moment, but I was constantly asking her to give me space. I didn't feel so good, so when I puked all over my dress, that's not on me, it's on her. I told her to give me space repeatedly, but she ignored my demands like usual. It was a very awkward situation. Matthew was wiping my face while my eyes were watering from puking. All the while, Lucy was screaming at me, but I was truly far too gone to hear or care for her. Once I had puked and had some water, well, I felt much better. I asked for somebody to remove all the fish food from around me, and it was done. We continued with the wedding, even though Lucy had to leave because she was covered in my puke. Honestly, I hadn't decided to puke on Lucy. She had just been in front of me, and she wasn't moving even after I asked her to. It just happened without me planning it. I don't think Lucy sees it that way, though, I'm sure. According to her, I puked on her on purpose. Ugh. I'll update you guys. Update number 4. Hey guys, it's Emily. Last week I got married to the love of my life, Matthew, but the day wasn't without drama, and it ended with me puking all over my mother-in-law because I was sick and she would not give me any space to leave. Just as I expected, Lucy decided to tell everybody that I'd purposely puked on her. It's weird. She claimed that I was jealous of how pretty she looked and wanted to ruin it. She claimed that I did not like her and wanted to humiliate her in front of everyone. So I puked on her. I don't know why she thinks that my projectile vomiting on her was needed if my goal was to humiliate her. It hurts to puke, but that's what she's been telling everyone. We were actually hosting a small dinner gathering before leaving for our honeymoon the next day. And that's how I found out about the lies Lucy has been telling everyone. Matthew's cousin told us everything Lucy's been telling people, and we were so tired of her crap. Matthew and I discussed what to do next. All while we were getting ready to make an announcement, I could hear my mother-in-law bad-mouthing me to people around her. She was telling them that I had poisoned her son against her, and that I didn't want her to spend time with us. That's why I had puked on her and humiliated her. I was done with her behavior and wanted to prove her a liar in front of everyone. So I drew everyone's attention and told everybody the truth. I explained that I've been sick for weeks for seemingly no reason and have been puking a lot. And when we went to the doctor the day after the wedding, we found out that I'm pregnant. The room burst into noise at our announcement and people came up to us to congratulate us. Everybody was so happy for us. Lucy and her accusations completely forgotten now that she had been proven a liar. Mark was extremely happy to be becoming a grandpa and could not stop clapping. Matthew and me on the back as if we had accomplished something by being pregnant. Well, everybody was extremely happy except for Lucy, who didn't even once congratulate us during the dinner. Matthew tried to talk to her later on, but apparently Lucy was mad at her son and for not telling her about this before announcing it to the world. I mean, we haven't planned on announcing it just yet. We did it to get back at her. But even if we had, we would not have told her before everyone else. I don't trust her with this news. She would probably have told everyone herself just to rub us of this experience and then pretend like she didn't mean to hurt us and shed some fake tears. Matthew had had enough of his mother and told her that if she can't just be happy for us, we would not be happy if she contacted us again after this. Lucy had truly been shocked at that. But Matthew was mad at his mom and left her thinking everything over. But the way her eyes slid to me filled with venom, I knew she blamed me for all of this. Lucy had been lying about me for a week, and now she looks so pathetic after everybody found out the truth. I'm going to update you guys in just a bit. Final update number 5. Hey guys, It's Emily here. Probably the last time. It's been 4 months since my last update, and I lost track of time. I thought I would catch you up once and for all for the end of this. I'm almost 6 months pregnant now, and we're having a baby boy. Matthew and I could not be happier with this, and I vow to be a better boy mom than Lucy. I would not be obsessed with my son like she clearly is to Matthew. I plan to support my son in his decision and trust him when he finds someone for himself. In short, I will actively work to be the opposite of Lucy when it comes to my son. Speaking of Lucy, Lucy had come around a few times in the beginning. She tried to continue to ignore me for when she first came around by asking about the baby's health from Matthew, when I was sitting right there. Matthew put her in place and told her that if she can't talk to me about the child I was actually growing in my womb, then she was welcome to leave. A few more incidents like this happened. Once when Matthew wasn't around, she decided to be nasty towards me, saying that the pregnancy looked very ugly on me. Well, that's when I've had enough. I told Matthew that I was done giving his mother more chances when she didn't truly want to be better, and we went no contact with her from then on. She's tried to reach us ever since, and she once even showed up at her house and cried for me not to do that to her again. She just wants to be closer to her son and grandson in the future. She begged us that she would be better, but we know her now, and we gave her a chance and she blew it. She didn't take us seriously. Well, we are very serious now. She also has tried to gain sympathy from other family members, but it's our decision and people respect it. She's finally out of our lives for good, because she treated me in such a bad way and she regrets it oh so much. I know she'll suffer even more when I have my child and she'll find out about it. I'm all for it. And that's it. Thanks for reading. I was very frustrated when I began writing and knew that Lucy was going to cause trouble for us in the future. I'm just glad that she doesn't have the power over us anymore.
Let's read this comment. It says, hey, from Belly2836. I think your husband should have made up with the mom. Everybody can improve with time. Everyone deserves a second chance, and this is family. Every kid needs a grandmother while growing up. My grandmother has been a really significant part of my childhood. She practically raised me while my parents were out working to provide a roof over my head. Your son would miss that warmth and unconditional love from her. She has made mistakes. I think we can all agree on that, right? I will agree at least. But you didn't even give her time to adjust and do better. I would suggest that you give her some time and then make such an important decision yourself. Guys, other commenters were saying, are you kidding? OP gave so much time. What do you think? Do you think that OP should take advice from that commenter? Do you think that commenter can kick rocks? Let me know. Drop your comments down below and let's talk about it, guys. My name's Mr. Reddito, and if you're new to the channel, welcome. Make sure you subscribe for more daily videos. I'll see you guys tomorrow, and of course remember, it's cool to be kind. Peace.